Good afternoon, everyone. As I mentioned a bit ago, going to be taking a look at NetBSD 10. It's come out. I think NetBSD needs more love. Pretty cool. I'm going to be using it a bit more than I have been. 10 has some great additions. Please do bear in mind with the bad audio. I'm using my work headset, which may be great for voice only on a call. Now, for this sort of purpose, not so much, but I didn't feel like waiting any longer until I got some upgraded audio. So in this one, get NetBSD set up in a bhyve zone. So you're going to use bhyve to virtualize it. Zones on OmniOS, branded zones, they're great. Um, Let me know in a comment if you want to see some further stuff. We can take a look at NetBSD 10 under emulation. One of the new features is great under VAX emulation, so we can look at that. Also Spark emulation or any others, right? NetBSD supports a lot of stuff. The other two things I'm going to be looking at is ZFS on NetBSD because it can do ZFS. I don't believe it can do ZFS root. Um, we can do ZFS on NetBSD and looking at its equivalent of PF, right? So it's firewall. We take a look at creating some routers, firewalls, etc. So let me know if you want to look at those. Again, apologies on the audio. Hopefully everything's coming through loud and clear. I'm also right under an aircon vent, which I just had to. I'm dealing with a bad condenser fan motor, and in Texas that's hot, so aircon's running full blast because it's working at the moment. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go and create the zone. We're going to use ZADM. Tell it's a bhyve zone. Give it a name for the zone. I'm going to edit this, and a few of the things I need to change are just because I don't want my zone sitting on the root pool. And we need a bit more disk. We're going to make this a sparse. So you can tell I've been using this machine for a while because the first tool before the ZADM, there's a great tool called Zcage, um, which was really cool. ZADM I think is better. That's not doing anything other than it's a little newer, more integrated. Hey, and it's in Perl, so yay Perl. So we're putting this on the spinning disks. So I do have flash, but I don't have a whole lot of flash in this server. It's another thing mess around with is upgrading the old home server, hopefully into a three-tiered, right? So I have two-tiered here. I have root on uh, SATA flash and then spinning SATA disks for my main, kind of long-term slower storage. The new one would probably have three tiers, right? So NVMe flash for root and things that need really fast, SATA flash for kind of medium speed storage, and then the slow spinning. So there's a project coming up. So we need to add a CD-ROM here for the boot. And CD-ROM is just an array here. Doesn't have to look pretty. I already had that in my paste buffer, so we're going to use the ISO. We'll just get DHCP because this is just for demo purposes. Otherwise, I'd give it an allowed address. We do an address. Let's see. Do 4 gigs and 2 CPUs. And again, my path's a little different here. So I think this looks good. We're going to keep the default, disk type, VirtIO for disk type and network interface type. And we're using the Intel E1000. So we've created it. Let's boot it up. Now here's where there's going to be a couple steps because we want the serial console so we can interact with the the console interaction. So we need to boot it, attaching the console here. and we're going to change the console device. So we're in COM0. We can boot. So this will be an extra couple steps, but this really unlocks the power of bhyve and the bhyve branded zones. Is that you can just say, I want to c login-c, and you get a console. You're going to take the default VT220. We don't need color. Yep. And that's our VirtIO disk. Get partition table. We just use the default size. And we'll do installation without X. So like I said, I'm getting a bit more into NetBSD. Very similar to OpenBSD. They did have that famous split some time ago. OpenBSD in the past, few years has dropped VAX support. They used to have it, they no longer do. Um, they're similar, but NetBSD, it's known for being available for so many different platforms. It's one of its big strengths. It also has package source, which I think is a great packaging system, kind of like ports, but a little different. Set my root password here. Let's go and configure the network. Again, we have the VirtIO network interface. And because I did not specify an allowed address, I'm just getting something from the DHCP pool here. No problems. Worked great. Hostname. Yep, I do want them in Etsy. And this is, we do want to enable package in. We're going to do both package in and package source. We'll take a look at both of them to see what's going on here in 10. Get package source done as well. But yeah, so one of my goals is a little bit of play, but historically I would have done, if I needed a router / firewall, it would have been, it was historically pfSense. Now it's OpenBSD. I want to evaluate NetBSD for that purpose. Part of it's just to play. Part of it is I think this behaves really well as a bhyve guest. So we will see. And it does ZFS. So again, FreeBSD is another option for these things if one wanted to virtualize them. They're all good at firewalls. And we want SSH. I guess we'll sync time at boot. Let's get a user. Yes, we'll stick to Bourne shell. And we're ready to go. So let's halt, and when this is done, we're going to halt it, make some reboot, make some changes, and then reboot again. So again, it's the ADM. We're going to halt here, and you can see, okay, we are now halted. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of virtual stuff running right now. We got the firewall gateway, we got the DNS black hole, but Mailhost is offline at the moment. Best way to control spam. Just turn off your mail exchanger. Okay. Boot it back up, and again, set the console device, and then we're going to edit the configuration. so that the next time we boot up, it'll go there automatically. But we need to change the boot config and rc.conf because we don't want the workstation console coming up as well. So again, this is one of the things I find really powerful about ZADM zones and the branded zones is that you have a relatively consistent interface for creating bhyve zones, KVM zones if you want to do that. They now have QEMU zones for emulation. Um, and then of course your main type of Illumos zones, um, your sparse, your linked, and there's a package source brand. So really great interface. Leave a comment if you want to take a look at the modern state of zones. We can run through some examples of creating different zones um, and what they're good for, etc. So log in here. And we're going to go and edit. We'll do boot config first. And this is just setting the console device like I was having to do manually in boot up there. So set that to COM0, and we just want to turn off workstation console. Halt this again. Get out, and again, it's a tilde dot, tilde dot dot. If you don't have it, I changed the escape character for SSH because it's essentially the same as escape sequence as the SSH escape, and I don't like disconnecting my session. So um, let me halt it first. Now we can boot. Notice the lack of C there. Now we can do a Z login to the console. That's great. We're pulling our DHCPD and boot's proceeding along. I forget what address it is. I probably should have done a static address for this guy. Good. So we're 48. Just get over here in a different session. Hey, we are up and running. So let's take a look at some package installation. So here we're in the console. We don't need that. We're now SSH'd in. Look at building a package with package source. First thing to do in a new system, add some editors. We don't need to, but because this has a good VI, but we'll go and throw Jed. I mean, I've really been using Jed a lot, but we'll do Elvis just because I think that'll build faster. So again, just like ports, just do a make install. And we are pulling back Elvis and the Elvis package and building it, and then all the dependencies as well. So pretty snappy. I feel, to my just subjective feel, is that NetBSD 10 is faster than 9. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. At least interactively, it feels faster. We've got Elvis. So that's kind of the package source install. Again, a lot like ports. You can see here's the tree. Um, categories for all sorts of stuff. See what's in math. Really been into pocket calculators recently. So see if there's any. See if there's any interesting stuff in here. Emulators, all the usual suspects, and the OpenSimH. So we get the 4.0 tree for that. Very cool. see if we can do a make search again, a la ports. Um, I want to see if the free 42 HP42S emulator is available as a package source package. Um, Something I don't know, but a great tool. RPM calculators are fantastic. While this is doing its database build, this is the first time it's running. Um, New home server. So, like I said, it's mainly for storage. What do I use it for, right? Virtualized stuff, all these VMs. I do, my local home lab type stuff for work if I'm trying out new things, writing some code, etc. So it's mainly running database and analytics software, but uh, and then of course all the play stuff. But looking at the latest or not the latest, but the 13th gen i5s seem really nice. Um, you know, 20 threads, uh, really fast, and not too expensive. So one of the things I'm taking a look at. I guess while that's running, why don't we do here? We have two sessions going. We'll take a look at another editor because you might want Emacs there. So packaging is like package for FreeBSD, just the package management. So we'll do Emacs no X11. So hey, we're gonna do two packages, very similar to all package managers. No drama there. Yeah, but I made a mistake doing this on this demo. It's like, oh, let's build the complete package source dependency database. No worries, but now we've got Emacs installed. Let's see what other interesting packages may be available. I'm constantly using Postgres and having to throw Postgres databases out there. Okay, we're up to 16. Very, very nice. And then a lot of the good extensions um, for Postgres, the ones PL Perl, I'm always using, and PL Tickle. Yeah, that might be fun. Yeah, maybe we should maybe that would be a good one. Do a video on setting up a Postgres environment. Um, Again, it's a great little relational database that scales from, hey, you just need to store a little metadata, your next level up from SQLite. Fantastic. I used to prefer MySQL/MariaDB years ago, but that switched. I find Postgres a little bit more consistent. The MariaDB MySQL has the advantage of you can do ISAMs, which are great for certain data types, but I think things are fast enough now. We don't really need that uh, anymore. That'll go continue churning on there. Uh, let's take a look for some other packages to see if they're available. The latest. See Jed, yeah, got Jed. So much like FreeBSD, you may see some things in ports, or in this case, package source that don't have packages built. Um, Obviously, a pre-built package works. So we have the three different SIMHs. Um, Again, speaking of splits, there was quite a vigorous discussion about the differences here and here, and of course the original tree. So they're up to no alpha emulators there. Yep, we got a reasonably recent QEMU, which is great if one wants to do other sort of emulation. Take a look at Fortran. No dedicated one. See what compiler we have here. Okay, so we're GCC 10 is the default compiler. So we should be able to get some later ones. Okay, we can get GCC up to 13. Very cool. And that should include G4tran. Does the native installed one? No. Okay, so that's a little annoying. Probably one has to go to a later. Um, yeah, so probably just need to do the full package to get things like Fortran, the other thing. So you just get the default compiler. Is this done yet? No, it is not. Lot of packages in package source. Okay, so my search there to see if it was in package source, yeah, there is a package ready to go here. Um, so we get ZFS installed by default. We'll do this as a separate video. We've already gone on long enough in bad audio, and hopefully I'll get a better microphone by then. But we get ZFS out of the box. I don't think it does ZFS root at the moment, but that's fine. So we can add some storage to this VM here and play around with ZFS in the future. So I guess this will roughly conclude it, and it'd be nice if this finished up soon, but it probably won't. So please leave a comment, anything you want to see about FreeBSD. I'm sorry, NetBSD. Little brain need a little coffee. Um, so the things that are yeah bounce around my brain is ZFS, the firewall, um, and then doing this on some other systems under emulation, probably Spark and VAX, because I think there's a cool VAX feature here. So I guess that'll be it. Thanks for hanging in to check out this install demo of NetBSD 10, and please let me know what else you want to see. Thanks.